We finally got the verdict. We know how many points Juventus are going to lose. Why did they announce it at the time that they did? Not sure. Is it the final judgment? Can Juventus appeal it? Apparently they still can. Why? I'm not sure. It's clear that they did something if they take points away, not once but twice this season. We're all going to talk about it. We're going to see what happened. Before we start, guys, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button as usual. We want and need your support. And so at the end, guys, they take away 10 points from Juventus, which to me actually doesn't make sense. And I'll explain to you why. Why? Because the whole point of this is that Juventus, they don't want Juventus to make the Champions League next season. So before the game, Milan had 64 points. You take away the 10 points, that means that you're down to 59. You're only 5 points behind. 3 games left to play, and one of them it's against Milan. It's a 6-point game. So if Juventus would have won today, they would have been only 2 points behind Milan. And then if you win against Milan next game, you actually pass them. So I don't understand if the whole point is to remove Juve from the Champions League. Why are you giving them hope that they can still make it? I don't get it. Are they waiting for UEFA to come down and say, guys, you guys didn't do it, we're going to do it. No European leagues for Juve next season. That's the whole point. Because right now they can still make the conference, they can still make the Europa League, but they can also still make the Champions League. Even though they lost today, they're only 5 points away, guys. 2 victories from Juve, 2 losses from Milan, and then whatever happens with Roma and Atalanta, we'll see then. But guys, they have a possibility. And I don't know why they couldn't just kill off the possibility and just leave the minus 15. It makes no sense to me. And then you announce it like 10 minutes before the Empoli Juventus game. Now, a lot of people are saying for sure it weighed on their mind, blah, 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 blah. I can agree, but I can also disagree. Why? Because when the game started, Juve didn't actually play bad. But then Empoli scored 2 quick goals, one on calcio di rigore, and it was 2-0 down, plus everything else that had happened that day, right? But guys, with coming out with at least a point or some points from this Empoli game, you gave yourself a chance to actually make it into the Champions League. You still have a chance, but your chance would have been higher, right? And at this point, this is why I say it's not fair for Juventus, because it seems like even UEFA won't allow it. So if they're not going to allow it, just say it, and they're suffering, and don't give them hope. It makes no sense for the fans and everybody else. I don't think it's treating the fans respectfully. I'm not a Juventus fan. I couldn't care less. I hope they finish last. It's not the point. I hope they bring them back to Serie B. But I think the whole point of this, La Lega Italiana, is to protect the brand a bit. And we saw even Gravina come out and say, listen, Juventus is an important brand for Italian soccer. We need to protect it. But then you're willing to give them the points and not make the Champions League. So either you protect them or you don't. But they also know that UEFA won't allow them to go and move forward, because it's only the first part of the process, right? So today was about the contracts and like this, but there's also the falso in bilancio that will come in June. They might actually get points deducted next season. So we'll see what happens there. But for sure, UEFA, with the falso in bilancio and everything else, the financial fair play, because it does affect the financial fair play, they will not allow them to participate, at least in the Champions League next season. And in my opinion, all 3 competitions. It's going to come, guys, because even if Juve makes Europa Conference, UEFA is going to come. They did it for less for Milan. Milan, who had debts up to 200 or 300, whatever the hell it was when Mr. Lee was there, wasn't allowed because of the financial fair play. Now, if you're indebted 300 million plus you falsify your books, no way is UEFA allowing an Italian team that does this sort of thing to actually play a competition next season. To me, it wouldn't make sense. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, not the greatest day, but it's very confusing. The entire thing is very confusing. We'll see if Juventus appeals it. They might actually appeal it again. And at this point, even that doesn't make sense. It should have been the last final decision. You know what? You went from minus 15 to minus 10. It's over. It's done. But the overall performance against Empoli today, guys, horrible. Some guys are going to make a lot of money on that team. Allegri was sort of reconfirmed for next season. Is he actually going to stay? Are they going to change him? It remains to be seen, because they had reconfirmed Pirlo, and then they went They are reconfirmed Sarri, then they went to Pirlo. Like, it's a whole disaster. We'll see what happens. Di Maria and Rabiot seem further and further away from Juventus. Is Vlahovic going to say, are they going to sell him to make some money? Alexandro today, well, guys, he just renewed his contract. He was embarrassing today. Embarrassing. So we'll see what happens. It's a whole mess. Let me know what you think. Write in the comments. Like and subscribe, guys.